Joining us now is Chicago Fed President Austin Goolsbee. Austin, thank you for joining us this morning.
Great to see you again, Steve.
Okay, so let's talk about this inflation report that came out. 2.4% on the headline, 2.5 on core. Austin, what is not to like?
Well, there's some stuff to like, but there are a few things a little bit warning. Remember, when the inflation number comes out, that's a backward 12-month moving average. So 1 month fell out from 12 months ago, and that was a really bad inflation report. So this thing went down, but that doesn't mean that the new information was great. We've seen progress on the shelter side, but there's a little statistical pollution still going through that. And the part not to like is that services inflation is not tamed. And core inflation, which is what we think is a steadier measure, that came in at around a 3.6% annual rate. So we saw some progress, but we saw some warning. I want to get some more information.
Yeah, so Austin, I hate to take things out, but the top line, we look at commodities less food and energy. We want to know how tariffs are affecting inflation. That came in at a big goose egg. But if you take out that big decline in used cars, you do see some upward pressure from the tariffs. How do you look at this? What's your assessment of how tariffs are affecting it and whether or not it's something the Fed ought to be looking through?
Well, that's different questions. I think you never want to use 1 month and hang it all on that. As I always say, 1 month is no months. If you take a 6, 7, 8 month trend here, goods prices, which had been, inflation had been low, they jumped up. If you just break out commodities by the percent tariffable content in them, you see a pretty clear relationship on goods prices that those goods where there were more tariffs have tended to have higher inflation. My hope is that that's a one-time thing and that proves to be transitory, and certainly that's been the argument, that maybe the Fed can look through that. Yes, if it doesn't spread to services and if it goes away. So my thing has been, I do think that if this proves to be transitory and we can show that we're on path back to 2% inflation, I still think there are several more rate cuts that can happen in 2026. But we've got to see it. So far, I think we've been basically stalled out around 3% with some positive signs, but also some warning signs. And we're supposed to see this progress.
Austin, several is an interesting number. You could be 2. It can't be 1. It could be 2, 3, 4. How much do you think? Do you have neutral in your head at 3%? Do you have in your head that the Fed can and should be at neutral? Or do you think it could be below neutral?
I loosely think that around 3% with 2% inflation and a 1% real rate is a loose target, and that's approximately what comes out of from the dot plots, where every month, every quarter, they ask the committee where do they see rates in the long run. But you raise an important point there, which is if inflation is running steady at around 3%, PCE inflation around 3%, I don't even know how restrictive we are in that environment with rates where we are now. The R star, the kind of definition of neutral, is a real concept, is a take the interest rate minus inflation. So if inflation runs persistently high, we're loosening. We're being looser than we otherwise would. So that's why I say,
got it.
I want some evidence that we're headed back to 2%, and then I think rates can keep coming down.
Hey, Austin, Kevin Warsh, we've had some people that worry about a lot of things say that there are members of the Fed that just don't like him and that he's going to have a lot of trouble getting consensus. So whatever he says he wants to do, it's not guaranteed that he's going to be able to get the consensus that he needs to to do what he wants to do. Can you comment on that at this point? How you feel? You can rat some other people out that don't like him?
I've known him I knew him for a very long time. In 2009, 2010, back in the financial crisis, when I was working at the Council of Economic Advisors and he was at the Fed, the CEA and the Fed meet regularly. And I'm a big fan of his and have known him for a long time. So I don't know the intricacies of the negotiations that you're talking about. I think he's a reputable guy, and I look forward to
some of your colleagues, when they found out, were they going, and rolling their eyes?
I haven't seen that, but
it seems like Fed chairman
we're not supposed to be talking about what other people think anyway.
We used to just assume the Fed chair gets
Austin,
his way.
We got to go. Can you do what Kevin wants to do, which is to slash the balance sheet and cut rates? Can you take $1 trillion off the top of the balance sheet and cut rates by 1 percentage point? Do those two things work together like that?
Leave the sides, more off the top.
It sounds complicated, but we'll have to just look through them as they come through.
You're only the second best looking guy now on the Fed. Now, Austin.
You're trying to appeal to my better natures, Joe.
Right, you're better angels.
Austin, thank you for joining us this morning, and we will see you soon.